What's going on, all my fantasy basketball fans out there? Welcome to the Score Fantasy Basketball Podcast. It's Waiver Wire Queen. Hope everyone's having a great day. Hope you're doing good in your league. Week 3, tough week. But nonetheless, you guys are probably doing the damn thing because you got Waiver Wire Queen on your side, helping you make all the right moves so far this season. Today, I want to talk about some guards you should consider adding via the waiver wire. Some of these guards have great long-term value for the entire season, and they should help you win your fantasy basketball league. Hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get right into it and talk about these guards because that's what we came here today to do. We came here to talk about players who are going to help you win your league. Definitely consider some of these guys to at least fill out your bench because these guys have great value. So Monty Morris is playing his tail off, probably having one of the best seasons of his career so far in fantasy basketball and just in basketball period professionally. He's a guard with the Denver Nuggets. So far, he is averaging between 18 19 fantasy points per game. He's rostered in a little over 30% of Yahoo leagues, which is good because that means he is still available and you can take that chance and pick him up. I do feel like he's going to take a hit once Jamal Murray returns, but I still feel like he'll have value. So nonetheless, pick him up. If nothing else, right now, he's playing his tail off and he can help your team in the short term. So let's talk about his stats. So right now he's averaging over 11.2 points per game, 3.7 assists, and he's shooting over 50% from the field, and he's playing 29 minutes per game, which is really good. Okay, so this is someone who's pretty much getting close to starter minutes. I'm sure on some nights, if you look at the stat sheet, he has played over 30 minutes. So he is someone who obviously the Nuggets trust. So what are we going to do? We're going to prioritize him, especially if we are struggling with our guards. If you have some guards who are just not living up to expectations or injuries, he can fill in for you on most nights, okay? Now, again, consider Jamal Murray coming back and his production will definitely take a hit. But again, we worry about right now, and right now he's playing well, so we're going to use him until he falls off, and once he falls off, we fall off and move on to the next best thing. Okay, so let's talk about Shake Milton. So that's a guard, right? So let's talk about Shake Milton, guard with the Philadelphia 76ers, right? He's playing really well. He hasn't played many games this season, just played in the last 2 games. Right now, he's rostered in 14% of Yahoo leagues. He's averaging between 21, 22 fantasy points. I do feel like once he starts playing a bit more, that may go down to 18, 19 fantasy points. However, he's averaging 12 points per game, 3 rebounds, and shooting 48% from the field. I do feel like the field goal percentage will be there, and the points may go down slightly, but nonetheless, Ben ain't in the building and they don't know when Ben coming back. Ben ain't coming back. So they can just move on and continue to let Milton play. Milton's playing well. Obviously, we know someone else. Maxey's playing well. But nonetheless, Milton is someone you can consider if you are in a bind and need help at the guard spot. So consider Milton, y'all. Come on now. A player who I expected to start the season off really strong, but didn't really play much. Bruce Brown. So he's starting to get some minutes. They have some injuries there. They have some missing pieces. Kyrie. And then Harden's not playing that well. I mean, Harden is averaging 18 points, averaged 24 points last season. That is a big decline in points. You're missing points. But nonetheless, Brown is starting to finally play. I mean, he went from playing 0 minutes to 23.8 minutes per game. He's averaging 7.3 points per game and shooting 50% from the field, which is really good. And he's chipping in with a little over 4.3 rebounds. And he's going to steal the ball at least once or twice a game. So what does that mean? When you add all of that up, he's going to get you between 16, 17 fantasy points, and on a good night, maybe 20. This is good because, again, he didn't even smell the court. He didn't even smell the hardwood floors the first game of the season. And now he's playing 23, 24 minutes per game and helping the Nets, which means if he continues to play well and shoot at a high percentage, like 50%, he's going to see more minutes. And he's a player that you can just use not every night. He's a here or there spot start for your team, spot start when you are struggling because, hey, you don't have anyone to play because it's game time decision and, ooh, last minute he's out. Brown can help you. Again, spot start. I don't feel like this is going to be consistent enough to where he's going to average more than between 16 and 17 fantasy points. And you can get better than that again with some other players I'll be mentioning later on. And then who knows? What if Kyrie comes back? We just don't know. But right now we're living in the moment of what he's doing. If he's giving you 16, 17 points and you can utilize him one night to help your team win, because the goal is to win. We don't care what you do to win it. As long as you are being honorable, no cheating and anything like that, then he can help. Okay? Let's talk about Tyreese Maxey, who's been playing his tail off, and I don't understand why he's only rostered in 58% of Yahoo leagues. That is insane, and it should go up. I talked about this young man having a breakout season because the big key factor is he can play basketball. No, the big key factor is Ben Simmons is not in the building. It's like, come on now. Who else was going to take that spot? It had to be Maxey. But again, the kid has talent. He showed everyone in the playoffs that he can play. And he should get more minutes. And he's getting that opportunity. He's averaging 31.4 minutes per game. He's shooting 49.4% from the field. That is great. Okay. I'm sure no one was expecting that, right? Maybe not the high field goal percentage because you're like, oh no, this was just a once in a lifetime thing. He's just playing out his mind in the playoffs. No, the kid can play. He can play. And if you have the chance to pick him up, you pick him up. I said he's only rostered in 58% of Yahoo leagues, which means he's available, which is shocking to me because 25 fantasy points, that's not something you just leave sitting out there for someone else in your league to pick up and use against you. So if Maxey is available in your league, you pick him up immediately. There's players who are not playing well. Like, I don't want to hear anybody trip because I was saying this player is going to have a good year because he's been playing well over the last few years. Derrick Rose is not playing that well. He's not playing better than Maxey. So right now, who would I prefer? I would kindly release Rose and kindly pick up Maxey because Maxey is playing better. He's playing starter minutes and he's shooting a better percentage. He's averaging more points. He's playing better. It's nothing personal. This is business, right, y'all? Now, this is all about winning. It's all about doing what's best for your team. And we don't have ties to players. So if you got to move on from a player like Rose, who isn't playing well, and you have the opportunity to pick up someone like Maxey, who's pretty much lighting it up, he's probably going to have the best season of his professional career, his young professional career, you go on and pick him up. Like, this one is a no-brainer. If I mention any name on this list and say pick him up, he should be at the top of your list. He should be the most important player that you are considering picking up because 25 fantasy points should not be hanging out there on waivers just like and he has value in the categories-based league too. If you're looking for someone like Maxey's, what his production is, you figure 14, 15 points, 4 rebounds, shooting almost 50% from the field. He's efficient. He's scoring the ball. He's efficient, and he's obviously not just scoring the ball. If he's getting 4 rebounds, 4 assists, he's helping your team, and he's solid on defense. So this kid is really good. That's why they letting Ben Simmons sit at the house because they're like, you either going to come here and play or you're going to sit at the house until we ready to deal with you. That ain't to deal with him. But nonetheless, we going to make deals and kindly put that waiver claim in for Maxey. ASAP, guys. Don't wait. TJ Mcconnell is another guard who's playing really well for the Pacers. He's rostered in 50% of Yahoo leagues, which means obviously half of the time, 50% he available. Okay, 50 on, 50 available. Go on and try your luck. He's definitely out there. I've seen him in a league or two that I am in. He's averaging between 17 and 18 fantasy points, which is really good production. Again, off of your bench. Some of these guys that you are picking up may only bring that value for bench play with the potential to start to help your team. However, you may luck up on a player who should be starting. It's rare, but it can happen. But in this case, he's definitely a good player to add to your bench right now because he's playing well. He's not going to light it up and then average 15, 20 points per game, but he's going to stuff the stat sheets. So he shoots 45% from the field, which is good. He's averaging 6.9 points, 4.9 assists, 2.7 rebounds. So he's going to give you at least 7 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds, which isn't bad. And again, I look at him as a spot start. Okay, last minute, you're looking, there's no one out there. Your guy's not going tonight. Mcconnell, spot start. I need your 16, 17, 18 fantasy points to help my team tonight. He's not a player that you're like, oh, he can start for me every night. No. Don't do that to your team, okay? Don't do it, okay? And Alex Caruso, my favorite on this list because he's a Chicago Bulls and I'm a big Bulls fan. That's right. Woo, at first when I was hearing about this signing, I'm like, what in the world is Chicago doing all that money? He playing his tail off and he deserved every penny. He's playing his butt off. Or anyways, he's rostered in 47% of Yahoo leagues. Think about it. He probably was never rostered in 10% of Yahoo leagues prior to the season, but he's playing well and he's getting the minutes. And another thing, Williams is out for the season, so his minutes have increased because they're rolling with DeRozan, Lonzo, and him, that group at times. So he has long-term value because he's a part of what they do. You don't always see a guy coming off the bench playing 27 minutes per game on a nightly basis. He is, so that means sometimes he is hitting 30 and over 30. So what are you going to do? You kindly add him and use him as a player to help your team because he's getting the opportunity and he's making the most of it. He's shooting 46.3% from the field and 46.7% from threes, which means he is being efficient in what he is doing, and he's averaging 8 points, 2.5 assists, 2.7 steals. So the biggest thing right there I look at is steals. So if this guy can come in a categories-based league, we're going to say that one night because you're struggling. You don't have anyone to fill in because your guy is hurt. They're out. Load management. What are you going to do? You can throw Caruso in there. Nothing else is going to get you at least almost 3 steals per game, give you 8 points, and he's going to give you 4 assists and help your team because he's efficient because his field goal percentage is high as hell. So if nothing else, you add him to help your team because, again, the goal is to win your league. And I don't care what player you add. If they are helping you win games and ultimately get you to the playoffs and then you win your league, that is the goal. We don't care what player, what they do. It doesn't matter. The goal is to win, and you will add whatever player who's going to help you win to your roster. That is all we will do. And these guys, these guards will help you win on a nightly basis. So consider adding these guys. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments or questions regarding the content we discuss on great guards you should consider adding. No, great guards you will be adding. And let me know what you think. If you have any questions on fantasy football, make sure you shoot me an email at waiverwirequeen@gmail.com. Again, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Y'all have a great day. Peace.